Let's begin at Old Trafford. Manchester United for 45 minutes looked lost and looked like they were going to be in serious trouble as far as qualification for the next round of the Champions League is concerned. But a superb fight back in the second half ensured that United finished the day on top, or finished the night on top of their Champions League group. So, Anthony, we criticize Ole Gunnar Solskjaer almost every other day because he deserves it. But hey, when he does something right, we should also give him credit. And the way United transformed their fortunes yesterday, I think, yes, obviously you praise the players, but you also have to give the manager some credit. Whatever he said to them at halftime, certainly well, and they came out like a totally different beast in the second 45 minutes.
Can you put your finger on what exactly he
I don't care. I don't care.
Oh, yes.
I don't care.
The changes.
We
changes.
Exactly. Ronaldo that went to the dressing room and slapped all the boys and wake up. Seriously, don't start. Serious note, actually.
Yeah.
Again, it was a good fight back. First of all, it was a poor start from United. Atlanta were all over them from the beginning. Scored 2 well-taken goals, 2 deserved goals as well at the end of the day. United all over the place, particularly defensively, and that has been a problem for the past few weeks. Actually, we saw them being shambolic at the back against Leicester City. Seemed to continue yesterday against Atalanta. Maguire poor at the back. Ronaldo not doing what he's supposed to be doing from a corner as well. If you're in the box, you might as well put yourself about the place to ensure that nothing comes from that set piece at the end of the day. But the second half was different. United altogether. Good fight back. The players raised their game. From Ronaldo himself to Rashford, to Greenwood, everybody decided that we're not going to lose this game, and it was a good fight back. 3 well-taken goals from United, and they thoroughly, going by that second half performance, thoroughly deserved the win. But again, Atalanta are a team that are horrible defensively, always open. And we're watching the highlights together this morning, and we saw the highlight for Rashford's goal. They were close. You're leading 2-0. You're close to the halfway line. What kind of defensive line is that? And it was just an easy ride for Rashford into the back line for Manchester United. So it was poor game management from Atalanta that gave United that win yesterday. Take nothing away from United, but a smarter team, a team with a manager that knows how to manage games properly, probably avoid that kind of result, that kind of defeat from United. But again, kudos to them, the top of the table.
All right, so Buddy Bruno, Manchester United's performance last night kind of epitomized the team as a whole this season. Sometimes they are brilliant, sometimes they are ridiculously poor. Why can they not play like they played in the second half on a more consistent basis? With drive, with purpose, with verve, and you just knew that the way they were playing, they were going to score and they were most likely going to win the match, despite the fact that they were 2-0 down at a point. Why can they not play like that on a consistent basis over the course of the season? And obviously they will be a better place if they could do that.
That's because Ole doesn't really have a plan B, basically. And when United face up with teams that actually keep the low block, and teams that keep it very, very tight at the back, and ensure that those little spaces are not available to spread the passes. And one of the key factors yesterday was the second half. Bruno Fernandes kept things very simple. He released the balls earlier, and that was why United were able to score the goals. But at the end of the day, maybe if Atlanta were more smarter, like Anthony said, you can't be leading 2-0. And you're keeping the high line basically against
Ronaldo.
That is.
And it wasn't like you had good defenders. They lost Demiral at halftime. A defender that I'd never heard before. Whatever his name is. So it wasn't like they had the personnel to deal with that. Sometimes you have to compromise your philosophy to get the job done. But anyway, don't let's make this about how poor Atalanta, where United did up their game in the second half.
They did,
and they got the job done. So now looking at the group, United obviously moved from the bottom of the table at halftime to the top of the table at the end of the match. They have 6 points. Atalanta 4 points. Villarreal, we went to Young Boys and won by 4 goals to 1, also have 4 points. Young Boys have 3 points. United not exactly out of the woods. This can get very, very early for them. They still have work to do. Remember, they go to Atalanta next, and Villarreal host Young Boys. If results don't go their way in the next round of matches, they could find themselves out of the qualification zone again. So zones again, rather. So work for United still to do to get out of this group.
Absolutely. And Bruno Fernandes said as much. Says they will go back to the drawing board and then going to look at what they did wrong to concede 2 goals that early and all of that. Again, we've heard all of this before. You know, they will come out and say, we'll sort this out, we'll do this and do that. At the end of the day, they do none of these things that that they said they're going to do. We still see the same errors. I mean, just last weekend, the similar errors that they had against Leicester City, we saw them yesterday against Atalanta as well. So again, good win for them. We hope they can build on it, and we'll see how well they do.
All right,
sorry, quickly. And one thing the manager needs to sort out is United starting games very slowly. And once the game edges towards the 30th minute and they're still in that zone, it becomes very difficult to get out of it. And Ole has complained about it several times, but still we haven't seen any improvement in that regard. So maybe if they can start games off the block, maybe that would help them dictate how everything pans out eventually.